Utah state lawmakers are taking a strong stand against political flags, both in schools and on government property. And when I say political flags, if you've been paying attention to American politics, you probably know where this is going. They don't want pride flags being displayed. In fact, they don't just want them to be displayed, they're gonna be banning them from being displayed. But you might think, oh, well, at least we won't have political flags, collateral damage and getting rid of the pride thing. No, you can still have some flags. Some pretty political ones. For instance, you can still display the Nazi flag, the Confederate flag. Those are okay. I'm not exaggerating. Those are literally okay, but not the pride one. So this is according to Utah's House Education Committee. They have a bill this week that bans pride flags in all public schools and other government buildings. It passed committee. Only 2 Democrats voted against it. Every Republican was like, yes, we have to censor these pride flags. We have to do a cancel culture on these pride flags. They are politically incorrect and we will not stand for it any longer, to use their language. Now, originally this was only going to apply to schools. Now it's government buildings as well. So it's both schools and the government censoring a flag that they don't like, a symbol they don't like. Approved flags now only include US flags, military flags, flags for other countries, flags for Native American tribes, and official flags for colleges and universities. The bill allows flying of a historic version of a flag that is temporarily displayed for education purposes, and they clarify that that includes Confederate and Nazi flags. And one representative said, there are instances where in classrooms you have curriculum that is needed to use flags such as World War II, Civil War. You may have a Nazi flag, you may have a Confederate flag. And so you are allowed to display those flags as part of the curriculum. And that is okay. There is difference between displaying flags in curriculum when you're teaching on them. Go to school. You don't censor history here. That's not what we're doing. Cause I kind of thought that like LGBTQ people have existed for a while, like both in the present and also in history. And I thought that maybe as like a part of American history, you might want to teach about them, but I guess that's not okay. You can't acknowledge the existence of a community, but you can show a Nazi flag. Why the hell would you need to bring in a Nazi flag to teach about the Nazis? You can't show a picture in a book. You have to have a flag. Why does that teacher have that flag available to bring in? That seems a little bit suspicious to me. But anyway, this is just the next step in the utter erasure of the LGBTQ plus community. We see it more and more. Every single day they have to come up with a new way to erase the existence of a community that they disagree with on political grounds. JR, what do you think?
What is it that that they're teaching about these flags that are allowed to be temporarily displayed? The Nazi flag, the Confederate flag. What exactly are they teaching? What's the teachings around it? The negative things around it, the way that they've influenced people, the way that they've caused violence, the way that they were a symbol of hate and murder and genocide. Is that it? Because what we always hear is that if you acknowledge gay, trans folks, that they're gonna somehow invade your brain and make you transition, that they're gonna turn you gay, or that if you acknowledge existence of people that you don't understand at all and refuse to even learn about, that something bad will happen to you. Sounds like all those things that happened with those other flags. If you actually pay attention to what they were a symbol of, they did harm people, they did murder people. They were used as a symbol of hate where you can then, act like what you're doing is God's work. God is always behind these things as well. They use them for hate. And we can display them to teach what? That should be taught. But then without teaching about anything with a pride flag, it's considered hateful. I don't know, is it considered indoctrination? They won't say because there's no answer for it. It's just exclusionary tactics. It's hate. It's doing exactly what those other flags were a symbol of, exclusion and hate. We continue to push it and we somehow acknowledge it as reality or educational purposes. If you start walking around your school with Nazi flags, I mean, there are do with Confederacy, I'm sure, but with Nazi flags, is that gonna continue to be a good thing? We'll see.
I don't know. Maybe they could read one of those Bibles they keep forcing into schools, because kind of seems like God has created trans people in every community throughout history. And I hear that God don't make no mistakes. So kind of seems like you should read the book. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?